if someone had said, oh, do you want to, I'm fucking rich, do you want to come down and see the ruins of the Titanic in this special vessel? And you think, well, this guy's a billionaire. Stuff doesn't go wrong for billionaires, you know?
Yeah.
But when we thought they were alive, because the guy who designed it was with them, the CEO of the company. So I was thinking when, we thought, oh, they're all down there and the oxygen's running out. Imagine how awkward it was for him. Because it's his company. And he's like, look, guys, this usually works. And I don't know what's going on. I know there's a weird atmosphere in here right now. And I'm feeling very got at.
I don't think blame is the appropriate emotion. I don't think we should blame.
No.
We should work together.
Yeah.
Does anyone have batteries for an Xbox controller?
The Year Is with Red and Bobby.
Welcome.
I don't even know if he's recording. You're recording.
Oh, yeah, we need to turn you on back up a bit.
Well, then fucking do it.
That was mine. Welcome to the Year Is podcast.
The podcast where every episode we travel back to a year in history. We talk about the weirdest, the most interesting, the strangest things from that year. I'm Bobby Mayer, and this is a man.
Red Richardson. A man indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
When you were a boy, did you always were you like, someday I'll be a man?
Yeah. It's weird. I always knew I was going to smoke.
And now that that's not weird. You watched adults smoke and you thought, I want to do that.
I watched Die Hard.
Jody, you going to open any other Coca-Colas while we record?
No banana this week, Jody, though. Thank you very much. You're not on the bananas these days?
No, I have a tuna pasta thing, but I put it in the fridge because I didn't want to be taking the piss out of whilst I'm eating and recording the pod.
You were correct to do so.
Yeah.
That's a nice Coca-Cola you got there, though. When I asked Bobby if he had any juice, you did not come forward and say you had a Coke.
No, I thought I'd just leave it for the pod.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll drink my lukewarm water from
cold?
Bobby's tap.
I didn't wash the glass either. I don't know what was in that before.
It is boiling hot today. Do you not?
I mean, I assume it was a water glass.
You're disgusting.
I'm just guessing it was a water glass.
It was from...
I found it on a counter and had water in it. I washed the water out. I'm kidding. I put more water in it.
Yeah, it was from 2 weeks ago when we last recorded. It was in here when I took it out to the sink.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, it's fresh. It's for you.
It's water.
Yeah. Okay.
Water's water. What, you need me to put soap on it in between you drinking?
If water's water, why don't you go to the Thames, cup your hands and sip on that?
Because that's not water. That's half sewage.
Wait,
that's saying sewage is sewage.
It's still water, officially.
Yeah.
Water comes in many forms.
Yeah. Somebody told me, a man smarter than me told me that apparently half of London's water or half of London's sewage just gets pumped into the Thames. That's like where it goes.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me at all.
You think in German pornography, there's people who like to get shit on, right?
Is that German? That's
thing. Like the stereotype.
Well, there's going to be that club and the man like sits on the balcony and shits on people, is what I've heard.
That club?
Yeah, it's a club in Germany, apparently.
Oh, not what you're playing this weekend.
No. It's like a...
Just Red playing a club where
someone just shits on you. I've done gigs like that.
I was once on stage and then this host was... I went on, it was fine. The host went on and this person in the audience just starts being like, oh, what the fuck? And the host was like, what's your problem? There's shit on the floor. And there was just, which I mean, fair enough. They had just eaten their meal. They had just eaten their food and they had a drink. And then they looked down and there was human feces on the floor of the club. And they were complaining. And then we got a call to the green room because there's actually a phone in the green room saying, please don't talk about the human feces being on the floor of the club. It's a bad look for the club. It's like, the cat is out of the bag.
Yeah, we have
the shit is out of the toilet. People know there's shit.
You can't just come on and cover it up like a North Korean leader, just pretending it's not
That's
happening.
What we did. All the other comics went on and they were like, so how are you today?
Oh my God.
Just not mentioning the shit. I'm a company man.
They always said that about Hitler. He liked to be lined of glass and people would shit on it.
I think that was rumors spread by detractors.
Yes. His haters.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. The thing I always find weird about that, people like, Hitler actually, like, he had a really little dick and he stunk. It's like, listen, we don't need new reasons to hate Hitler.
No, we've got them all.
I'm not like... Oh my God. Okay, what else about this guy? Like, I have enough.
No, it's He's done enough.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what his penis looks like, to be honest.
Yeah.
He had me at the massacre and genocide, you know?
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
Wow.
Mm.
A moral man.
I'm a very good guy. What's your opinion on Hitler, Jody?
No, don't. Jesus Christ. The podcast is over.
But you were fine with like putting everyone into camps and everything like that. It was just the genocide. And the
No, it was all bad. I just mean starting a world war, murdering I can't believe I'm explaining why Hitler was a bad person.
To Jody,
to
a
Jody.
Jewish man.
Oh yeah, you're Jewish, aren't you, Jody?
I am. Yeah, I'm rediscovering my Jewish roots.
Have you ever been to Israel?
Yeah.
Apparently they do great mall freaks out there.
Yeah, that's the bit I particularly remember was the chips.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're fucking with me.
No, I was agreeing with you. I wanted you to be my friend. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you've not been out there, no?
I've been to Israel, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't particularly remember the chips, though.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember the sun and the markets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we were just probably, I can't remember where we were.
Were you on holiday?
Yeah, I was on holiday.
Okay, it wasn't like a
Yeah.
pilgrimage.
No.
Well, people do that. I don't know why you're smiling.
This wasn't, no.
No.
So, yeah, Israel.
Did you have a bar mitzvah and stuff?
No, I didn't. I was christened.
So you're not Jewish?
I'm half Jewish, whatever that means.
On what side?
On my dad's side. But still,
But then that means doesn't that not?
Hitler would still have me killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not for that either. Just
Can be. Jody, they wouldn't have to look up heritage for you to die during World War II.
he was a big fan of thyroids. Hitler.
Well, yeah, I'd be weak. Yeah, they would have just killed me at birth.
I need my thyroxine.
What's
No.
the bit in Goodfellas? She goes, "Are you Jewish?" And he goes, "Just the good half." You ever said that?
No.
No. Well, it's a line from Goodfellas. So if you say it, it'll look quite cool.
Okay, then that sounds good. Yeah.
You mean the cock?
What?
I thought you meant a circumcised cock.
No, he just says it to when he goes around. Ray Liotta goes around and meets his girlfriend's mum for the first time, Lorraine Bracco's mum,
Okay.
and she's like, "Hide your cross. I've told you that you're half Jewish."
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
the
yeah,
mum's
yeah.
Jewish, and he goes, "Just the good half." Why would you ever get a dog?
They can't hear the dog, Red.
Can they not hear the dog?
They can hear the dog.
They can hear the
Yeah,
dog.
I can
No,
make
they
sure
can-
they hear the dog. Yeah.
Mm. I've actually booked a trip for Sonny. I thought it'd be nice if he went and saw the wreckage of the Titanic.
Yeah, I don't know if the craft is available anymore.
No, that's not good, is it? That's what's happened this week. That's the big topic. And they're now saying they knew on Sunday. I don't know. I'm getting this from Twitter, but
No, the US military say that they picked up a sound that would have sounded very much like an implosion on Sunday
okay.
and told the US Coast Guard, or didn't tell the US Coast Guard. That's the kind of...
But
leeway
did they
now.
not read the news and see everyone was looking for them? Oh man, no, we heard it on Sunday. Sorry, I've just been really high.
They've
What-
got other priorities.
What? Why? But then there's been like 5 days of suspense. Did you see that TV
There was
channel?
no real suspense.
I was fucking on the edge
yeah,
of
but
my
it was-
seat. Did you not see
We knew they were dead.
no, because there was the whole oxygen thing. Did you not see the TV channel that had the countdown like it was transfer deadline day?
No, I just had that in my head anyway. I was just so emotionally
Yeah.
engrossed.
Well, no, they had a TV channel where it would go hours of oxygen left.
I just want to get rich enough
Mm.
that people hate me when I die.
Mhm.
Like when they're happy that
They
I'm
go,
dead.
"Ha, ha, ha."
That is my that's
Yeah.
my goal for success is to have enough money that when I die in a horrifically tragic way with my child,
Eaten by your own pet tiger.
yeah, that people
You have
are
the
like,
last Bengal tiger.
you fucking deserve,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
That's the level of success I'm shooting for.
It's so bad.
And no less.
Yeah, people were just like, so why do I care? They're a billionaire. His family are really angry at Cambridge University because they did a Titanic aqua-themed ball on Wednesday. And he went to that uni and they were like, can you not? And they had like My Heart Will Go On playing and everyone came in like nautical outfits. It's fucking bad. How little people care because the guy was rich. And the other thing is, I wouldn't have gone because I am a pussy and I don't like to do stuff like that.
You're about living.
But if someone had said, "Oh, do you want to? I'm fucking rich. Do you want to do you want to come down and see the ruins of the Titanic in this special vessel? And you think, well, this guy's a billionaire. Stuff doesn't go wrong for billionaires, you know?
Yeah.
I'd go with him. Well, I wouldn't, but I can see why you would. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when we thought they were alive, because the guy who designed it was with them, the CEO of the company. So I was thinking when, we thought, oh, they're all down there and the oxygen's running out. Imagine how awkward it was for him. Because it's his company. And he's like, look, guys, this usually works. And I don't know what's going on. I know there's a weird atmosphere in here right now. And I'm feeling very got at.
I don't think blame is the appropriate emotion. I don't think we should blame.
No.
We should work together.
Yeah.
Does anyone have batteries for an Xbox controller?
It's my nephew who's controlling it. He's 8. He's brilliant at the the whole thing's mental, isn't it? Like an Xbox controlled vessel to go and see a sunken ship. I mean, the clue's already kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and to name your vessel after the one that sank in horrific tragedy.
Wait, what was it called?
It's called Titan.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's not after the Titanic.
Do you reckon it was just coincidence?
Yeah, Titan means a completely different thing.
But you think it's a coincidence that the Titan was going to see the Titanic?
They're two totally different things.
You know that the
Do
word...
you know what a Titan is?
Yes, but...
Do you know where they designed it?
What, in
go visit the Titanic.
Ireland? They built it on the docks in Ireland.
They designed...
Leonardo DiCaprio built
They
it in
designed
Ireland.
the Titan.
They mean two totally different things.
Yes, Red. Yes, you're right. They do mean different things. Are you sure that Titanic is not an adjective of Titan?
Let's have a look.
Yeah, but
Titanic means, what was it, the unsinkable ship?
yeah, no, that's what the ship. That's what the ship was called. But Titanic, Titan.
Yeah.
It's just IC at the end is the only difference between the two words.
But then there's loads of words that are two different letters that are...
Like what?
Just think of, I don't know.
But they didn't name the submersible that. They named the submersible Titan.
They're two totally different things. It's weird when you're around stupid people and they're a majority. Somehow you get made to feel like, oh, there's some, but actually it's a totally different thing.
Well, maybe the viewers and listeners can. Let us know
Titan
their
means
thoughts.
totally different thing to Titanic,
What does Titanic mean?
isn't it? Titanic's unsinkable. What was it? Titanic was like the unsinkable ship.
No, it's not one word that describes the ship.
Titanic. The meaning of Titanic was that it couldn't be sunk. That's why the irony that it did sink.
Of exceptional strength, size, or power.
Oh yeah, Titans of Greek mythology. So it does derive from that.
Titan definition: a person, thing of very great strength, intellect, or importance.
There we have it.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Well, they're slightly different.
But our
Slightly
argument
different.
is that we're saying that they named the submersible Titan after the Titanic, the very thing they
Possibly. You don't know what was going through their heads.
Red,
he could have been
Red's
like-
really shifted from no to
He
possibly quite
could have
quickly.
been big into Greek philosophy and just
Mythology.
mythology, yeah.
I know what was going through their heads on Sunday evening, though.
What?
Oh
Quite
no.
a lot of metal in other people's bodies.
So bad. Oh my God. But yeah, it was sad, wasn't it? Sad day.
Well, at least they died doing what they loved.
That's true. But I think
Screaming.
The guy, well, apparently,
Screaming in fear.
apparently the kid didn't want to go down.
Yeah.
Well, he was like, he expressed doubt.
Yeah, the aunt said he was terrified, but just did it because it was Father's Day.
What's wrong? Are you being serious?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Did it because it was Father's Day.
Yeah.
What's wrong with going to Bali? He could have rented a 5-star mansion in Bali.
Well, there was a big bomb in Bali, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it's still...
So they could just go visit where people were bombed and died in Bali rather than going where to see. 'Cause that's the whole thing
Oh.
about the Titanic is you're just going to go visit a grave site, and that's why people are saying you shouldn't really go there, just on the moral reason.
Yeah, but then people go to Auschwitz, and people go to Ground Zero,
Yeah.
and people go to the killing fields in Cambodia.
Yeah. Apparently in Cambodia, I didn't do when I was there, but you can shoot a cow with a bazooka.
Yeah, I've heard that. And it's
Yeah.
not that expensive, apparently it's like 50 quid.
I think a couple hundred to shoot a cow with a bazooka.
Oh, well, it's gone up. with
Inflation.
Inflation.
Inflation's affecting
The
the
cost
whole
of living crisis.
world. The cost of shooting a cow with a bazooka crisis.
When I was your age, 50 quid, you'd come out with 3 dead cows.
yeah,
But today,
you'd really ruin the meat.
we're not actually going to get in the time machine.
We're going to where are we going?
It's faulty, and I don't want to get.
Yeah,
stuck.
actually,
I'm never getting in it again.
yeah, I don't want to.
I don't want to get stuck with
This
you
should
two.
be this. That's a good reason for this to be a last episode.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we get stuck
After the Titan, we don't want to get back in the time
Yeah,
machine.
that's why it's too dangerous. There's been some weird noises recently when we've gone in it, so I'm not up for it.
Yeah, it's Jody's heavy breathing.
Yeah, but here we are. Can I have a tissue? I'm fucking boiling.
My last one.
Oh,
My
no.
last one. There you go,
Were
I'll
you
give
just
my
about to use it, Jodie?
I was, yeah, but that's how dedicated.
But you're off
producer I
camera.
am.
It's so hot in here. It's like a sauna. What is it outside? Like 25? It's one of those
Who knows?
shit days where it's not actually sunny. It's just hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what a shit day.
I met Jodie on the way here and I said, do you like the sun? He said, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I thought,
Yeah,
well,
it's
that's
exactly 25.
exactly
Yeah, you
25.
want it, yeah.
I thought so. Anyway, let's go back. 1935.
The Great Depression.
That was 29, I believe.
No, that was the collapse. The Great Depression was all of the 30s.
Was it? Oh. Wall Street crash was 29, and then it went on for what, 2-3 years?
Until the war.
Interesting.
The great.
But Hitler started like buying up tanks and stuff like that, which helped his economy.
Yeah, that's one country.
Yes, indeed. Okay, have you heard of the shark arm case?
No.
This is intriguing. So in Australia in 1935, they thought, let's get a tiger shark and put it in an aquarium.
Okay.
Bad idea. It never works with big sharks. They die instantly.
They die.
Yeah, they just can't survive in captivity.
Okay.
No, I think the great white lasted for 15 minutes. It's just they go no. Not for me. So a tiger shark was caught 1.9 miles from Coogee Beach and transferred to Coogee Aquarium Baths, where it was displayed publicly. Within a week, it became ill and vomited in front of a small crowd, leaving the left hand and forearm of a man bearing a distinctive tattoo floating in the pool. So it vomited up a man's arm.
Where's the guy, though?
He's not. So this is where it gets very, very, very interesting.
Okay.
Before it was captured, the tiger shark had devoured a smaller shark. It was the smaller shark that had originally swallowed the human arm. So it's an arm inside a shark inside a shark.
In a pool.
In a pool. So what had happened is this man had been murdered, thrown out to sea, and a little shark had eaten him.
Which you think, fucking, this is the
Bye-bye.
result. That's what we were hoping would happen.
Yes, bye-bye. And little shark eats him. Big shark eats that shark. Someone catches that shark, puts it in an aquarium, and it vomits up the little shark that's got the human arm in it.
Okay.
This is fucking insane. Fingerprints of the hand identified the arm as that of former boxer and petty criminal James Jim Smith, born in England in 1890.
First of all, I got to say, that's a stupid name.
They're the same, aren't they? It's like Titanic and Titan, isn't
Well,
it?
James
and Jim.
I think it's the way you're reading it. Actually,
James Jim Smith.
I think it's listing Jim.
Well,
as,
if you
I
read
don't
it,
think
you
Jim
go,
is,
you go, Hams Im Smythe.
no,
That's what it would have sounded like if you'd read
that's
it.
really rude. But Jim is like his nickname.
Well, Jim is James, isn't it?
Yeah, his name can't be James Jim.
James
like,
Jim Smith.
My name is not Robert Bobby.
No, but this guy's James Jim Smith, so there you go.
Quotation marks.
What?
Is it in quotation marks?
Of course
Jim?
it is, Jodie.
That's no, the quotation
I
marks.
cannot believe after we sat through hours patiently and also sympathetically while you try and read names, this is being flagged up.
I sympathetically, I'm mocked, I'm
But
taunted,
we have to in the end.
I've
It's
had
embarrassing.
things thrown at me while I try to read names.
Anyway,
This is
Jim Smith, he's been missing since
a taste of your own medicine.
7th of April, 1935. Smith's arm and tattoo were also identified positively by his wife, Gladys Smith, and his brother, Edward Smith. Smith was a police informant. Examination revealed that the limb had been severed with a knife, which resulted in a murder investigation. So they thought first, he's been eaten by a shark, and then they go, no, this is a knife he's been thrown in. 3 days later, the aquarium owners killed the shark and gutted it, hampering the initial police investigation. Early inquiries correctly implicated a Sydney businessman named Reginald William Lloyd Holmes. Holmes was a fraudster and smuggler who'd managed a successful family boat building business at Loveton Bay, and he'd employed Smith several times a week to work insurance scams. Anyway, they fall out. He kills him, throws him into the sea, and thinks, it's over. Bye-bye, James Jim Smith. So long. And then a shark eats him, which, as you correctly said, would be the desired outcome if I was the man who'd killed him. And then another shark eats that shark, gets put in an aquarium, and vomits the arm out in front of people.
You could not have worse luck.
You really couldn't.
Well, actually, you could.
What?
Could. The worst luck would be either being James Jim, the small shark, or the big shark.
Yeah. It's
That's four, and then the guy who killed him. That's four creatures with incredibly bad luck.
a Russian doll of shit lives, basically. Yeah.
It's
Bad ends, not good at all. But yeah, he was arrested. Holmes was arrested. And then he tried to commit suicide. Went into his boat shed and attempted to shoot suicide by shooting himself in the head with a .32 caliber pistol. However, the bullet instead flattened against the bone of his forehead, and he was merely stunned. He's not that good at this, is he? This actually makes me think. I'm listening to this podcast, and they talked about this hitman who shot 3 people, the wrong person, 3 times on different occasions. So he was given the target. He'd go up, take a shot. One time he went up, took a shot, missed the guy, and shot the man behind him. So bad. Don't laugh, Jodie. His kids were there. And he did this 3 times, right? They found him dead in his car. At first, they thought, oh, he's committed suicide. He hadn't. What happened is he was cleaning his gun because for some reason he was still getting employed as a hitman despite failing 3 times and killing the wrong person. He was cleaning his gun and accidentally shot himself.
Well,
if that's not the world's worst ever hitman.
No, I was laughing. That reminds me of it was a fish called Wanda, where is it Michael Palin's constantly trying to kill this old woman, but she's got you'd like this. She's got several loads of small dogs, and each time he tries to kill her, he accidentally kills one of her dogs.
No, really?
Yeah.
I have seen that, but years ago.
Yeah.
So, okay, the guy shoots himself in the head. The bullet bounces off his head.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't die. What happens then?
He fell into water, crawled onto a speedboat, and led 2 police launches on a chase around Sydney Harbour for approximately 4 hours until he was finally caught and taken to hospital. So he's just riding away from the police after trying to kill himself. He's on a 4-hour police chase, which is quite impressive if you just shot yourself in the head.
Yeah. He really got back into living quite quickly.
Yeah. Discarded Smith's arm in the surf. I think he just thought he was going to... It was all for £500, £500.
Well, back then, with
what's
inflation...
that? 50. How many cows can you shoot in Vietnam for that?
Yeah. Then, fucking 500 probably.
Yeah. So he went to prison and he died in 1965 at the age of 76.
In prison.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, I think, that's the place for him, to be honest.
Yeah, but did he feel bad,
Probably not.
No. I guess he wouldn't. He wanted to kill someone, he killed them.
Yeah, but, the luck of that.
What would you... Okay, you go to jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
What crimes would you commit that would make you go to jail? Give me a scenario where you would commit a crime.
I threw a cigarette on the floor the other day.
Okay.
This is a true story.
Well,
at Vauxhall Station.
Red, no one was assuming you're making up.
At Vauxhall Station.
Okay.
Where, may I add, there is an outdoor urinal and people doing heroin on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Cigarette butts everywhere. 1 cigarette on the floor is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
3 men appear and grab me, environmental police officers, and give me a £100 fine, which I'm going to fight, and I will go to jail before I pay that fine.
How are you going to fight it, though?
By not paying it.
That's not fighting.
I will not go to jail for anything but that.
Okay.
No, I don't think. Why? What crime would you do?
Murder.
Well, I suppose. What do you mean? What are you going for a set amount of time anyway?
Well, no, but like, those situations where someone breaks into someone's house, right?
Mm.
And then they like stab the criminal in the back when the criminal's
Like
trying to get
Mizzy.
away.
Mm.
I can imagine doing that for sure. Overreacting.
Yeah.
Because a couple American states have those stand your ground laws where if somebody's in your house, all bets are off.
Well, that happened here. Do you remember the guy with the shotgun, Jody? You probably remember that. Shot the kids fleeing out. Shot a 15-year-old in the back. He was on the lawn. But they've been fucking with him for months, so it was this whole controversy.
Yeah.
And he went to jail for like 2.5 years, I think.
But I can imagine overreacting in that situation.
I can imagine you overreacting in that situation. It's weird because all these sort of like come into my house. You know, all the dads are always like, if that was my daughter, and they've got this weird fantasy of killing someone that fucks with their family. But it involves the person doing something bad to someone they love in the first place.
In their own fantasy.
And it's like, actually, you don't really even care about your daughter. You just want to fulfill some weird, sick thing inside of you. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I've had thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, I've heroically killed a terrorist before in my own head.
Yeah.
You know?
The best terrorist killing fantasy is with a car.
Why? I think a punch is better.
No. It's clean. I'm driving a car across London Bridge.
Mm.
They try to do London Bridge again. On the bridge.
Yeah,
They're
and
in front of my car. I just hit the gas. Boom.
And then you don't even stop. You go and do your gig.
Yeah. Listen, I want that money.
Yeah.
I want that 200 pounds. So
yeah, exactly.
Go
100%.
run over and then back over to make sure they're done. And everybody says I'm a hero. I would love to be a public hero.
Yeah.
The problem is, you're a public hero for like a day or two, right?
Yeah.
But then the Daily Mail gets involved.
Of course.
The
At
papers.
first, Piers Morgan's like, this is what a real man is.
But then they're like, did you know he was on a podcast 2 years ago and said blah, blah, blah. Something I've said on this podcast.
I know that
would be a Daily Mail headline. Because once you're like the reason we can say whatever we say is because everyone thinks we're pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
But once you are thought of as a great person.
Yeah, then they want to take it away from you.
Yeah, and we are not great men.
No, it's sort of actually weird with this podcast because it's almost like we've decided that we just suck. You know? Because, like, what if, one of us makes a film that everyone loves?
Well,
and then we just, I suppose Jody gets a phone call and it's like, wipe it, Jody. Wipe it clean. Get rid, Jody.
If there's anyone you can trust to clear a hard drive, it's Jody.
yeah, completely.
Jody, Operation Bye-Bye. Round 2. This time, you don't have to bleach the inside of a car.
Or throw it in the river and hope a shark doesn't eat it, maybe.
Yeah, and then vomit it up at an aquarium in 10 years. The driving test becomes compulsory in 1935. So before 1935...
anyone could drive a car.
Well, it was a choice. Compulsory suggests that they still had the test, but you didn't have to take it if you didn't want it.
Yeah. Big government fucking getting their hands on everything,
It's mental.
I miss the 20s.
Well, I think all the cars, though, they probably could only go like 30 miles an hour, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah. You could do a lot of damage at 30 miles an hour, though.
Yeah, definitely. You could still
to
die.
A human.
Especially if you don't know how to drive.
And I don't think the cars of the 1920s and 30s were necessarily as, there were no airbags or seatbelts.
No. How many times did you take to pass?
Well, the written test.
Oh, yeah, that was a long one.
I took 7 times,
yeah,
maybe 8. But the driving part, passed first time.
That's crazy.
I really teed up the guy, though. I said, hey, by the way, I'm really nervous because I just had a kid and I need to pass this or else I won't be able to, drive my kid around. And I drove in Canada for 10 years. I know how to drive, but I'm really nervous. So I just let him know that. Just befriended him early to create a sympathetic bond.
Well, they're not meant to do that. They're meant to not be friends.
You know they will, though. I just kept saying sympathetic things. And then at the end, he's like, you passed, but you made a couple mistakes. And he started telling me my mistakes. And I was like, whoa. I don't give a fuck.
I don't need you anymore.
I will never drive as well as I just did.
Yeah, I don't think I'd pass again. I really don't.
The thing is with that, the Titan guy, that clip, if I die in a car accident, what I just said, that'll be my ominous clip.
What, when he was like...
Yeah, when he was like, I don't care about safety. What did he say?
He said that remembered by the rules you break, and that's like. And he was like, I always think with General MacArthur, and you go, okay, when you start quoting people like that, it's never a good thing, is it?
But again, if I die in a car accident, they'll take that clip I just did.
Yeah.
I don't know who they is. In this mystical world, a lot of people care that I'm
We'd
dead.
have to do better. The thing is, we're considering a world where we get cancelled because we're doing so well. So it's still a good thing.
Yeah.
Those are the two choices. You either stay at this level or you get a tiny taste of the big time and then it all comes crashing down. What would you rather?
This level, actually.
Really?
Public shaming really
Oh, yeah, no, it's horrendous.
shakes people.
It's absolutely horrendous. It's, the pylons, and you look at people and you go, have you never done anything bad in your life?
Yeah. The thing is, if someone's 18, they probably haven't done, they haven't had time
Yet.
to really fuck up someone else's life.
Yeah.
Which they will.
Yeah.
What's his name? Stockton Rush, the Ocean Gate boss. He said, I've broken some rules to make this.
Yeah, that was it.
Maybe that can be like the podcast
It's
tagline. We've
broken some
rules to make this.
We don't want to do that, Jody. I'm not going to take inspiration from a man who's just...
Who was
Stockton Rush is quite a name, isn't it?
Yeah, great man.
Fucking hell. Well, he's dead, Jody. Don't disrespect him, please.
He's my personal hero.
It's very sad. I mean, he's probably a lot smarter than me. I mean, definitely was.
Red, we have the highest IQs
That is true.
in the world.
So this is weird. Sonny Bono. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, he used to kiss what's her name?
Cher. They were married.
He kissed her a lot.
I just found this weird. So he was born in 1935.
Okay.
Cher is now going out with a guy...
88 years ago.
Yes. Is it? Yeah. Cher's now going out with a guy
I can do math that quick.
who is my age.
Give me arithmetic. I can do it.
Okay, how long ago was 1865?
That's fucking easy. 133 years plus 23, 156 years.
Fucking genius.
Give me
Very
another
smart.
thing. Give me more. Honestly, like...
Well, 1914, how many years ago was that?
that's the best you got. 109.
Yeah.
109 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty basic arithmetic.
No,
this is basic
you're doing very
addition.
well. You're doing very well. Anyway, he was born in 1935.
88 years ago.
And his
Depending on when
Cher
his
is
birthday
now
was.
going out with a guy who is my age. So he could be like, my ex... No, my girlfriend's ex was 10 when Hitler died. Do you know what I mean? They got married in 1964. So they're like, oh, when me and my ex got married, it was a year after Kennedy had been shot. That's fucking mental.
Yeah, but I bet like that guy, he must lay it down,
Oh, don't be so disgusting.
He's fucking her good.
So Sonny Bono was born.
Was that his real name? Bono?
I don't know how to say it. It's
Well, that's how
spelled, it's
people say it.
like Bono, but I don't think no one's ever said Sonny Bono.
Well, that's how. Obviously, it's Bono because that's his name. Everyone knows who Sonny Bono is.
Yeah, but it's spelled like Bono. So
No, I'd say Bono.
Bono.
Yeah, well, Bono from U2, that's the made-up name, isn't it?
Ah, is that not his real name?
Inspired by Sonny Bono.
I wonder if the Edge is that guy's real name. No, this is his real name. Salvatore Philip Sonny Bono.
I told you about the comic Mr. Anonymous, didn't I?
No.
There was a comic in Canada named Mr. Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
And he legally changed his name on his passport to Mr. Anonymous. But then he
must get so much shit in customs. He deserves every second
No.
of
He
it.
doesn't get shit in customs. He's unable to leave the country of Canada because no country will accept Mr. Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous.
They're like, "Oh, that's your name. Yeah, you stay there. We're not taking you."
Oh God! Why did he do that?
I imagine by now he's changed it back.
Yeah,
but
you'd like to.
I haven't
think he
seen him
had.
in a long time.
You would very much like to think he had. Also, Jerry Lee Lewis was born. Do you guys know about Jerry Lee Lewis?
Yes.
Great Balls of Fire.
Goodness gracious. Married his 13-year-old cousin.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to go into.
Figured as much.
Married.
Knew where we were going.
No, but so you know about this.
I know your instincts.
You know all about this.
I know. Well, I mean, I know what I just said. I don't know like what positions they were into.
Is that on the Wikipedia?
No, of course it's not on the Wikipedia, Jody, for goodness sake. Yeah, his career was going well. He was like on a par with Elvis. And then he took a like interesting decision, and he took his 13-year-old, this first cousin once removed. What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
The cousin of your, I guess, dad or something. Like,
No, so that's not.
It's like one removed. I get, as they say. Yeah. So,
So first cousin, but then what's first cousin once removed? Is it like?
So your regular cousin would be your uncle's kids.
Yes.
So it's your cousin's kid. Your first cousin's kid.
Or your mum's cousin's kid.
I think that's your second cousin. That's what second cousin means. I think first cousin's once removed also means second cousin.
Okay. So not as bad as he's getting. I mean, the 13-year-old.
13 is the issue, Red.
13. No,
Red, that is as bad.
That's bad. But I mean, it's just the. It wasn't actually his direct cousin. I mean,
that's
it's still wrong.
No one's complaining because they're cousins.
I thought they were.
I think that's just the topper, isn't it? Though. It's like
Well, then that makes it worse because at the same time, Elvis was with a 14-year-old.
Yeah. I saw in the news, because it's something you brought up quite a few times before, was about musicians not getting their Me Too moment. Elvis is having some people come out recently.
Oh, and how has he responded to that?
He's very upset.
He's really having his Me Too movement 50 years after his death.
He's very worried about a shark.
Yeah.
Actually, he died in 1977, so it's 46 years after his
Oh my
death.
God, you are bloody good at this.
Yeah.
Bloody smart. Yeah, so that kind of screwed his career, but he carried on, and he still like released albums, still toured. He wasn't really, I think it was more his behaviour. He was known as the wild man of rock music. I think he used to just trash things, always have a gun on him and stuff like that. But he only died, was it last year? I remember hearing about it on Twitter. I'll have a look. Yeah, October 28th, 2022, aged 87. He had 1, 2, 3.
Did he stay
4,
with the
5,
niece? Were they still
6,
together?
7. He had 7 wives.
He wasn't still
7 wives and only 6 children.
One of them.
One of them didn't, and then one apiece.
Okay.
And then what's funny is it says relatives, and his relatives are also one of his. I don't think he didn't marry his cousin. It's just no, he did, definitely did. They were married for 13 years.
What's her name?
Her name is Myra Gale Brown.
Well, I feel bad for Myra. I think
the thing is when they got
not
divorced,
an easy start in life.
When she got divorced after 13 years of marriage, she was only 26. Still plenty of life left out there for her to live, you know?
I hope she's living well.
She's still alive.
Good.
Age 78, she lives in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Good for her.
And she got married to a man called Pete Melito, which lasted 2 years, from 70 to 72. And then Richard Williams, who she is still with.
She found the love of her life.
She did. Good old Richard, sturdy after what was probably
a rocky start.
What was probably abuse, actually,
yes.
from Jerry Lee Lewis. I think he was violent and stuff like that as well, just to add to the whole mix. You know, I mean, I'm going to date a 13-year-old. At least be nice.
Red, you just stopped talking.
I said something, and then you just didn't say anything. So I just thought, well, I'll just sit in the silence.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? You could have gone, yeah, no, you're right. Maybe if you do that, you should actually be like, you know.
I just had nothing else to say about
Me neither, so we just didn't talk.
Okay. That song, though.
What, Great Balls of Fire? It's shit.
No, it's...
I don't like the
shit.
Song. It's just boring, isn't it?
It's in Top Gun.
Is it?
Remember when they played Goodness Gracious?
I don't think I've even seen Top Gun.
Top Gun, it's a movie with these pilots, right?
Yeah, I've heard. I've heard what it is.
And they love to fucking fly these planes.
Yeah.
And then they fly them. Mm-hmm. And then one guy's like, I'm the best. Mm-hmm. This other guy's like, actually, I'm the best. And then they're both pretty good. And then the movie ends.
Who's in it? Tom Cruise and who's the other guy?
Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay.
But he can't talk now.
No, that's sad. They've remade it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Everyone went to watch it.
And Val Kilmer's in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sequel, not a remake. And Val Kilmer's in it, but he doesn't talk. He can't talk.
Really?
So he has a little robot machine that talks for him.
Oh my God! Poor
and
Val Kilmer.
Still acting. Val Kilmer in Heat is one of my favorite performances.
He's good. We talked about it before, but when someone announced on Twitter that he was going to be Tony Soprano, they did a fake announcement saying that because James Gandolfini had died, that Val Kilmer was going to take his place, and they made up a fake quote from Val Kilmer saying, though Gandolfini was very good in the role, I think there's something I could bring to it that he didn't. And obviously everyone on Twitter went fucking mad. Like, even people who were, like, not usually abusive were like, you piece of shit. How dare you? And then he had to come out and go, look, guys, one, I've got, like, throat cancer, and two, thanks for telling me how talentless and how much you want me dead. It's also not true. I never said that, and I'd never dream of taking on the role of Tony Soprano. So, yeah, I mean, nice one, Twitter, again.
I don't think he's Italian, is he?
No, it was just, the thing is, it's just like, who would be back? Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, because no one had heard from him in a while. And I suppose if you watch him in movies, you might go, yeah, he might say that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just sort of.
But that scene in Heat, where they're in the car, and then he sees the cops, and he just starts shooting through the windshield from the inside.
Yeah.
And it's him and him and De Niro, and he just starts shooting the. That's
I never thought that film was as good as the rest. It's not up there with Goodfellas or Taxi Driver.
No, but it's the fight scene with the cops is amazing.
Wasn't Al Pacino doing coke the whole time of that? He said
that shows. Yes.
Yes.
In his performance.
Yes. Interesting. Well,
1935. What happened?
Do you know about the Lindbergh child abduction?
Yeah. Somebody stole a baby.
So Charles Lindbergh was like the David Beckham of the time. He flew aeroplanes. He was like a hero on pictures of, cards and all sorts. And his kid got abducted and turned up dead 4 miles down the road in the woods. And they think what happened is the kid was accidentally killed during the abduction. But Richard Hauptmann, a German-born carpenter, was convicted of the murder of 20-month-old son of aviator Charles Lindbergh and his wife, Anne Morrow Lindbergh.
20-month-year-old?
20-month-old son of aviator.
You said 20-month-year-old.
Did I? Well, that was a mistake.
No, but is that what you'd say?
No, never. You'd say 20-month-old. He was abducted and then killed. And so Richard Hauptmann was electrocuted in 1935.
But not to death. They just shot him.
They didn't even. It was a tiny little junt,
And then they said, you're good.
That was his
You're
thing.
good. And then he's like, really? I thought you were going to kill me.
He
like,
was
nah,
tasered
just a little,
once.
Just like a cow prod. Just bzz.
Yeah.
Bzz.
So I think
you're free to go. Are you guys sure?
They were going to ransom, so it's going to be $50,000 ransom.
Which again, with inflation,
that would have been a lot,
like $1 million now.
A lot of money back then. What probably. I mean, you could have asked for more. To be honest, it is a baby.
What's the right amount of ransom money for a baby?
£1 million.
whatever you think they got.
I think £1 million. So evidence against him included $14,600 of the ransom money found in his garage. Testimony alleging handwriting and spelling similarities to that found on the ransom notes. Testimony that lumber used in constructing the ladder probably originated in Hauptmann's address. Don't build the ladder in your house.
That also seems a bit like junk science.
Also, an address and telephone number found written on the inside of one of Hauptmann's closets had what appeared to be a hand-drawn sketch of a ladder found in one of Hauptmann's notebooks. And so they also said that they found a phone number for the guy who brought the ransom note. They caught him, and they said they found his phone number written in Hauptmann's phone book. So these guys aren't, master criminals.
No, you might as well have just had a book called How to Abduct a Baby.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Well, that's the thing. They always catch people who murder, and they were Googling how to get rid of a body. And you go, I mean, that is dumb, but you do,
You would Google it.
You have to Google it. I mean, could you go to a local library?
They'll just track your movements.
Yeah.
I'd borrow someone's phone on the street.
How is street gangs still getting away with murder then? It's weird, isn't it?
Well, you just stab and run.
Yeah,
Shoot and run.
Yeah.
They're not getting rid of the body.
No, that's true.
So the Lindbergh guy, Nazi sympathizer.
Was he?
You know that about him? Yeah, Charles Lindbergh.
I didn't know that
did
at all.
not want America to fight the Nazis.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't mind him. But then once the war started, he was like, all right. And then I think he did some like air shows or whatever for the troops. But
Really?
Jody, look it up.
Yeah, no, I completely believe you. There's a lot of more Nazi sympathizers from around that time than nowadays people would have you believe.
Yeah.
I know you love talking about the royals on the podcast.
Mhm.
There's like footage or like
The Queen
photos
giving
of
an
the
Nazi
Queen
salute when she's
and,
6.
and the king and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have been fucking around.
Well, no, they weren't.
Was that pre-war?
That was pre-war, but Hitler salute, yeah.
If that was now, they'd just be like, some Nazi lost his fucking baby.
Yeah. Twitter would be like, I'm sorry, that's what happens when you're a Nazi. Yeah, there was quite a lot of high up people. I don't think people hated Stalin more than Hitler for a long time. And then Churchill said, I can't believe you're on the same side as Stalin. And he said, if Hitler invaded hell, I'd give the devil a favourable reference. Good quote.
He was good at that.
Knew how to chat. Oh, I'm so hot.
Red's dying. Red, how hot are you?
Like boiling.
Talking to the microphone.
It's like a sauna.
Yeah?
I'm just feeling very hot. It's lucky because I'm wearing shorts, but I was going to wear trousers.
Okay.
That would have been even worse.
But you're going to go to Spain.
Yeah, but it's like
Next
I'll
week.
be on holiday in a pool and stuff, not in a box room recording a fucking podcast at 2 p.m.
Do you want me to dump water on you so you feel like you're in Spain?
No, I'm all right. I want you to get an out.
Do you want me to wear Rosie's clothes and kiss you on the neck?
No, I really don't.
Your vacations come early.
No, what would that do? That would just make me feel worse.
Do you want to penetrate me eye to eye while we stare at each other and tell me you love me?
I did worry about this summer because I thought it's going to be a heat wave and I'm still doing the podcast. Always bad.
Do you want to maybe hold hands and walk down a beach and just...
I'm all right, thanks.
Okay. Just
Robert Downey Jr. I did not know this. His dad was an actor, filmmaker.
Robert Downey?
Downey Sr.
But you're only Robert Downey Sr.
If you call your son Junior.
No, once your kid is successful.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
There's
what you mean.
lots of like losers
Yeah,
who name their kids after them, but they're not something senior. They're just that guy, and then their kid
Well,
is
like George
the junior.
Bush was probably not junior until he got into power.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was. So he was born in 1935. I didn't know he was an actor.
Yeah, he was, but he was also a filmmaker. Robert Downey made like avant-garde films.
Underground film Putney Swope, a satire on the New York Madison Avenue advertising world.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I wish I had, but I haven't seen any Robert Downey.
Downey Jr.'s comeback has been like one of the most remarkable, I think, ever.
Yeah. Well, now he's just a mainstream star.
Mainstream superstar, Iron Man. You know, he's like fucking. You know, there was a point where he probably was easily the highest paid actor in the world for consecutive years. But he was a complete junkie. I remember him telling this story when he got so smashed and he came home one night and went into the wrong house and got into what he thought was his bedroom, and it was like a 6-year-old child was in the bed. And she just ran upstairs and he was like, "Mummy, there's a weird man." And he's just passed out in the bed. Not good.
I imagine his agent's phone ringing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, we'll come get him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make some calls. We're gonna have to try to.
Yeah, it's not a good one. If you wake up, imagine waking up and just seeing like a kid's room when you're like hungover. That'd be the worst feeling possible. But he bounced back. Mel Gibson was a big part of his comeback. He was in a film with Mel Gibson. And they said, we're not going to finance this because Downey Jr. is too much of a fucking nightmare. So Mel said, fine, I'll pay for it myself. 25 mil of his own money made the movie with Downey Jr.
And it was a hit.
It was a hit. And then Downey Jr. kept just staying clean. And then when Mel had his kerfuffle...
when he revealed how he really feels about certain groups.
Yes. He... Downey Jr. sort of hosted this night where he brought Mel on. He was like, who in this room hasn't made mistakes before? And brought Mel up. And so it's like this moment where, you know, you were there for me, I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough, you know. Let's rebuild. I like twisted friendships when people turn a blind eye, you know, because they're mates.
I mean, you have to. I do. On a level of like, should these people work? I don't know the answer. But on the level of like friendship loyalty, I respect that.
Yeah.
Completely. Red's dying because of the heat.
Yeah.
Give me another story, Red. Just mumble out another one of your facts.
Another one.
Come on, Red. Give me the goods.
Hitler started arming reorganised the Luftwaffe. So after the Treaty of Versailles, Germany no longer had an air force. And then he was like, actually, we're going to do this and break the treaty. So this is 4 years before the war. And he just starts. So he's like, oh, we've now got we're going to have an air force again. And then he also in 1935 he made conscription again, mandatory conscription to the German army. So he was basically gearing up for war. And everyone's just like, Hitler, don't do that. That's against the treaty. And then he'd do it, and you go, where is this going? And now we see.
Well, so in hindsight. You think that was probably a bad thing we shouldn't have let happen?
Yeah, of course. Should have gone in early. Though you never know. If we'd have crushed Hitler in like 1934, Holocaust and all that stuff, people would have gone, that would never have happened, you know? And it would just seen as like an act of aggression. And there'd probably be think pieces about people going, Hitler was actually a freedom fighter now, you know what I mean? And that was just, it was just Western, like, you know, British and American aggression. And they crushed this man who was... though a nationalist, also, you know, was building up Germany, and he'd probably be some sort of weird hero.
I'm distracted because I'm watching your eyes sweat.
I'm dying.
Yeah. Red is so hot.
I'm too hot.
Red.
It's just the air's warm. Like, it feels like there's not been any fresh air. Like we've been breathing air that I was breathing an hour ago. Do you know what I mean?
Like being in the submersible.
Yeah, I feel like I'm underwater.
Yeah.
And there's 30 hours of oxygen left. Shoot me now.
Do you ever worry about that when you're in a room and you think, oh, what if there's no air getting into this room? And then you just die.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now. Literally right this second. We haven't got a window open. There's not even a door. But Jodie could have opened the door.
No, but it's a recording studio, Red.
I know, but surely like a little noise. We got Sonny barking every 5 minutes. Would it matter if there was a slight bit of noise?
Yeah. I've worked very hard to make sure there's no outside noise pollution unless it's sunny.
Unless it's sunny. So we could kill the dog and then just have a door open as a sort of compromise.
No.
No? Okay.
Allow that. No.
Well, until next week.
You just want to end now.
Yeah, I want to get out of it.
No, I just think the podcast should keep going to torment you.
Underground sauna.
Yeah, we've got 30 more hours of hard drive space left to record.
Fuck's sake. I'm going to have a glass of water. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our super genius patrons. Thank you to everyone else. Red is dying. Goodbye.
That was another episode of The Year Is. Thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. Leave us a review. It all helps. I'd like to thank our producer, Jodie. And also I'd like to thank Josh Weller for our intro music and song. It's very catchy. It's very nice. I'm sure you'll enjoy it at the beginning. So big thanks for Josh Weller. He's on Instagram at Josh Weller. Josh Weller. Follow him and keep spreading the word of The Year Is. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.